Hello once again, friends. I wonder whether some of you have heard of Blondin. Blondin was a Frenchman who lived at the latter half of the 19th century, and his trademark was to be able to do tightrope walking. And his greatest achievement was actually walking across the Niagara Falls from the Canadian side to the American side. And one day when he was doing this, crowds thronged to see him. It was a great show as he started off from the Canadian side, came over to the American side, and there was just tumultuous applause. And then he held up his hand and he said, how many of you believe that I can actually take a wheelbarrow and wheel it across from the American side to the Canadian side? And everybody said, we believe, we believe. And they got him a wheelbarrow, and he actually wheeled it across from the American side to the Canadian side. And when he reached the other side, again, just wondrous applause and clapping and all of that. And then he held up his hand again and he asked this question: how many of you believe that I can actually take a person sitting in the wheelbarrow across from the Canadian side to the American side? And everybody shouted, we believe. We believe. And then he held up his hand and asked this question. He said, who will be that person? And there was pin drop silence. While everybody believed that he could do it, nobody was willing to trust him enough to put their life on the line or in that wheelbarrow. Believing in somebody and trusting in somebody, two different things altogether, isn't it, friends? Jesus would say, the thief comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But I have come that you may have life and have it in abundance. And I've often thought of that verse, and I keep looking at that abundant life that he promised. And very often, it's not visible, isn't it? It's not seen too often. So many people just get out of bed every day. It's a drudgery. There's no vision. There's just going about their business, doing the things they have to do because they have to do. No joy, no excitement in their lives. And then when the day is over, they head back home. Where is that abundant life? And as I thought about abundant life, and believing and trusting, I thought, here's the connection. Because God it is who's able to give us that abundant life. But for us to enjoy this abundant life, we need to be able to trust Him. To go beyond believing in Him to the point where we trust Him with our lives. And sometimes we don't. We're quite content to just believe in God and then meander through life just doing ordinary, average, mediocre things. There's no excitement, there's no zest, and there is absolutely no exhilaration for life itself. And it made me wonder whether we need to make a course correction, an alignment in the way we think and act. And to be able to go beyond and say, I want to trust you, God, to give me that abundant life. Consider this, a little girl on the edge of a pool at the deep end. Her parents are in the pool and they're waving to her and encouraging her to jump. Now she knows, she believes that they can take care of her if she does. But she doesn't. And so just the exhilaration of jumping into a pool, of being there with her parents, enjoying a swim, is lost. But the moment she jumps, all of that is hers. The difference is believing that her parents can take care of her and trusting that they will and doing something about it. You see, believing is passive. Trusting is active. And I wonder today whether we need to kind of move across from believing to trusting the Almighty God to pour into our lives joy and abundance. That each day can be just a quest for something very, very beautiful. Something that God has intended that only we can do. I often think that we need to be able to live lives in such a way that our children and our children's children will look back on our generation and say, you've got to have met my granddad or my dad or my grandmom. They were just giants who walked upon the earth. We're called to leave footprints on the sands of time. Let's leave footprints that tell a tale of abundance in life. That's my prayer for you. God bless you.